Hey, fantasy football friends. So it's week 1 of the NFL, so it means it's time to start setting those lineups. So let's talk QBs this week. QBs that I love this week. Number 1, my favorite QB this week. Not my favorite QB in general or person in general, but Ben Roethlisberger going up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns were 32nd against quarterbacks in the league last year when it came to fantasy. So I know they've done a lot of changes in the offseason, but I still like my odds on this one. So I love Ben Roethlisberger versus the Cleveland Browns. I also like Carson Palmer versus Detroit Lions. They were number 31 against quarterbacks last year. I would like Jameis if they were going to play this week, but there's a hurricane coming through, so they're not playing, and so then Jameis is off my list. But when they do play Miami in week 11 now, we'll see. We'll see if Miami's solidified their defense at all. So take Jameis off the list, put Cam Newton on the list. Cam Newton versus San Francisco. I know a lot of people are soured still based on his fall from grace last year, but he's playing San Francisco this week, and I like that matchup. And then my last that I really like in quarterbacks this week, Derek Carr versus Tennessee. I think Derek Carr is going to be a top 5 quarterback overall for the season this year. And against Tennessee, they gave up the 25th most points to fantasy quarterbacks last year. Like that matchup. Now, some of the quarterbacks I don't like. Now, obviously, Rodgers against Seattle. I don't like that matchup, but you're going to start Aaron Rodgers, right? You got to start Aaron Rodgers. He's a stud. You start him every week, no matter who's playing. But I don't start Phillip Rivers against Denver. I like Phillip Rivers. I don't like him against Denver. You're probably not going to start Bortles anyway. And then Drew Brees against Minnesota. Again, he's like Aaron Rodgers, where you're still going to start him, but I don't think he's going to have as great of a week as some of his other weeks. And I have him on 2 of my fantasy teams. So I hope that he goes great against that Minnesota defense. But what are you going to do? You got to start Drew Brees. So those are my quarterbacks for this week. If you have any sit or start questions, please ask them down in the comments. I'm happy to answer them for you before the games start on Thursday. Until next week, I'm Fantasy Girl.